Welcome back viewers. In this video, we are going to learn how to run containers in the background. So in earlier video, we have seen how to use the P flag to attach the container with your terminal. So using this, the port 80 was configured and the engines was attached to your terminal. So now further going ahead, to run the engines in the background, we have to add another flag, that is -D for detach mode. So this will start the container detached from your terminal. So earlier the container was attached to the terminal using the -P flag. Now you have to use the -D flag ahead of the -P flag to detach the terminal, which was detach the engines web server which was attached earlier using the -P flag to the terminal. So we can run this command. So you have to open the terminal. So here you can see it is listening to the commands. So if we go, we had pasted this localhost address and checked out whether the engines was running in the background. So when we pasted and executed or this localhost this address, what happened is you can see the request was transferred to the Nginx web server and it returned. You can see here it can the signal was received from the web browser. It got passed through the port 80 and it was received by the Nginx web server, and Nginx web server responded with hello hello to the web page that was requesting. So you can see here the traffic, it is getting noted here. And now what we will do is we will do a control Z, control X or control Z. So it is not coming out. So what we will do is we will close this terminal. So, and we will start a new session, and in the new session we will paste this command. So now the Nginx web server is detached from the terminal. So here you can see you have to always read this. So Docker daemon, error response from the daemon, driver failed programming external connectivity to endpoint dazzling roads. So the port is already allocated. So port is there. So binding for the port is already there. I think it is why it is not running. So what I will do is we will just go back to the containers. Let us try to do this again. So let us try to attach the Nginx web server with the terminal. Let us see what happens. Okay, so it is not working right now. So we will go further ahead. So we can check out the Docker images, sudo Docker images. So I will just do it. So here you can see the two container images, that is Nginx and the hello world, both are there. So you can see the image ID when it was created, size of the image. So the C program hello world is just 13.3 KB and the Nginx web server is around 187 MB. This is all done. Now how to run this? Why it is not coming up? So what we will do is let us do this again. Let us refresh this. So you can use this address, web address. We will close this. We will have a new tab. We will paste this and let us see. So yes, the Nginx is running. So port configuration and all those things is correct. Now let us try to do this command, whether it is working or not. We will try it once again. Final one. Let us see what happens. Yes, so there is error response. So you cannot detach this Nginx web server from the terminal. So let it remain like that. It is some reason it is not working. So I cannot go in more detail and do all many other commands are there for the Docker. So definitely there will be a command to address this issue, error response, but we will not go. We will want to keep it simple. So more and more people can know about the Dockers, learn in basic background of the Dockers. Later on, if you want, you just say comment or send me message. Then we will cover it in great detail if you want. But right now, we will keep it just basic. Now, you can list the containers running on the system. Notice how your Nginx container is now running in the background and has been has been assigned an ID. So you already see you can also use this sudo docker images to show the images that are running inside your Docker. Plus, you can also use this command sudo docker ps. So you can see here. So this are giving different outputs. So sudo docker images will show all the images, container images running inside that Docker, whereas the sudo docker ps will show the Nginx image. It is not showing the hello world image. So you can see when this Docker entry point was created, what is the status of the Nginx web server. So it is running and up and running for the last 14 minutes. Which ports have been configured, what is the protocol, that is the TCP protocol has been used, and maybe this is the developer name, Pedantic Wozniak. Now you can also kill the Docker. So for killing the Docker, you have to use this and you have to give the container ID. So the ID container image with that container ID will be killed. So this is used to kill the Docker any container image running in the Docker. So we will try out this command. Now in the Docker ID, you have to just copy paste this ID. So if you want to kill the this Nginx web server, you have to copy paste and paste it here. Control V. So you can do a Control V. That's it. And then you have to remove all these additional characters that got introduced, or you can just type C783 B07979 and rest of the enter. Syntax error is there, so there is some error is there. Unexpected, near the unexpected token. So what we will do is we will just use 11 EC 783 B0979. Let us see what happens. Yes. So the container image with this following ID that we have typed it is now killed. So it will not work. So now what we can do, we can check out whether it is there in the system or not. Let us try this out. So it is there inside, but it might not be running. So what we can do is we can again type this command whether the Nginx browser is web server is running or not. You can see here now there are no running containers. What we can do is once the container has been stopped, so we have killed the container. Now we can use this, that is the detaching the container the Nginx web server container from the terminal. So we can now pass this command. So it should start the Nginx server again with the following ports, and it will keep the Nginx server running in the system, but it will detach the Nginx web server from the terminal. Let us see what happens. Yes. So now we have successfully restarted the Nginx web server. Again, you can now check whether the Nginx web server is running or not. You have to use this command. Paste it. Yes, you can see again the Nginx server web server has started again, and it is up for the last 12 seconds. And this we can say instance of the Nginx server was created 14 seconds ago. So we created a new Nginx instance using this command. where was the command? This command. So this created a new Nginx instance. Earlier we killed the Nginx server which was running. The instance was killed using this command sudo docker kill the container ID for the Nginx web server. So this is how you have to proceed ahead and do operations on the Nginx web server, and you can do this same commands for other containers also. Only in other containers, if it is not a web server, you may not require the configuration for the ports. There will be some other configuration required, but this is generally how we control the container images running inside a Docker. So I think you have got a good idea how the Docker works, how the container images are pulled from the web server, installed on your Docker. You can start stop the container images in the Docker. You can get the output from the container images, and you can also do the configuration for the ports so that you can pass on the client request to the container images and get output from the container images through via the same ports. So we had a very good discussion in the last 3-4 videos, and now we are very clear about how the Docker works, what is Docker, and how can you use it for the deploy applications on the internet. So with this I will now stop the video here. We have completed the Docker series, and we will take up some another topic in the next videos. Bye bye.